Hey guys, it's Mason, and this is Wrestling in the Dark, the only wrestling review and recap show brought to you by a blind fan, probably. This week on NXT, episode 504, we got the Forgotten Sons versus 1-2 Punch and with Humberto Koreo, Dominik Dijakovic in his latest match, and Kushida's debut. What happened? How good was it? You know you want to find out, so stick with me and I'll take a look at everything that happened and how it all panned out. Kicking off the show, it was the Forgotten Sons versus 1-2 Punch, which is Danny Birch and Oney Lorcan with Humberto Koreo. This started off nice and quick. The action got started right off the bat in the early moments. Oney Lorcan hit Wesley Blake, I think, with a running uppercut that sent him out of the ring, and that was nice. And that was sort of the story of this match. There was fast action, hard hitting from the Forgotten Sons. Really, the main story here is how much Riker hates Humberto Koreo. For some reason, he's just really does not like Humberto Koreo. So, Jackson Riker gets a spine buster, then gets the full mount, starts hitting ground and pound on Koreo. I really like that. That was a nice spot. Danny Birch tagged in at one point, and he was just going wild. Nigel had a really nice call. He was like, right hands, headbutts, Danny Birch unleashed, and I thought that was really cool and nice. It really made Nigel look like he thought that Birch was a strong competitor, and like, oh, he's just really excited in that moment. It was really cool. We got springboard offense from Koreo with like a springboard roundhouse that he tried, but it kept not paying off for him. Eventually, he dived out to the outside and he hit Lorcan, which obviously is bad because that was his teammate. He was going for some aerial offense, and Jackson Riker again hit him with that with a Polish hammer. If anyone wants to tell me what that is, then that would be nice, because I don't think I've ever heard of a Polish hammer before. So let me know in the comments if you can. And that was sort of just, that was it really. Birch was in the ring on his own with all three of the Forgotten Sons at some point. There was a bit where Humberto Koreo tried to make the intercept, but Riker intercepted him. There was just some really nice back and forth tag action in this, and I am quite behind. I'm quite behind the Forgotten Sons. That theme just makes me just want to bob my head. It's just really like chunky and rhythmic and badass. And then when they were surrounding Birch, I thought that was a really badass moment. They finished off the match getting the pin on Humberto Koreo with triple offense. So again, if anyone can let me know what that is, that'd be nice, because it's the finish of the match. They really could have told me what the triple offense was, and I might have just missed it, but I don't think I did. I gave this a strong 4. I thought there was some good action in this match. I think with maybe 5 more minutes or something, which they could have had if they hadn't have ran that stupid PC advert again. I'm sick of hearing that advert. I get that they want to advertise the Performance Centre. I get that the marriage thing is like a nice thing for them. It's just every single week it's the same thing, and then that stupid song in the back. We could start a family, we could have a little house. It just does my head in. But yeah, like with 5 more minutes, this match I think could have been a 5 out of 6 match, because Lorcan and Birch and Koreo keep that fast pace and the hard hitting style, those strikes that Birch and Lorcan like to employ. And the Forgotten Sons have got a really nice aggressive style. So I thought it was a really strong 4 out of 6 match. So after that nice little nifty opening to the show, we got a little stretch of video packages and promos. First up was Shayna Baszler being asked, do you have any remorse for your actions, presumably for attacking Io Shirai last week? Shayna answers, in the most gleeful, horrid little bully voice that her remorse is buried in the sand, along with those stupid pirates, Kyrie and Io, and that was a really great line. Shayna is just so on point with her promo skills. Then the interviewer asks her if she attacked Io because she was afraid or threatened by her, and Shayna just sort of gets a bit offended by that. I think she hit the microphone out of the woman's hand or something to that effect, and then walked off with Jessamine and Marina. And I can't believe how good Shayna Baszler can do in 90 seconds or something stupid like that. She's got such good promo skills. When she's on main roster, she's going to be something special. I know it. They can't mess it up, I don't think. I mean, obviously they can. They really, really can. But I don't think they will. I think she's made enough of an impact, and she's been a dominant enough champion that they'll do pretty well with her, I think. Then we got this performance center filmed thing with Bianca Belair and Mia Yim having a little bust up argument sort of thing. This was all right. I mean, there didn't really seem to be anything too much going on. They were just yapping at each other, or it was mainly Bianca Belair. And she's on the opposite end of the scale to Shayna Baszler, where Shayna comes out and I'm just like, yeah, I completely believe that you're this horrible, nasty little bully woman. Bianca Belair she's so obnoxious when she's like, keep my name out your mouth, and she's just saying it over and over and slapping her hand over and over, and it was just can you not do anything better than that? And she was completely overpowering Mia Yim. I didn't hear anything Mia Yim said. The best part about it all really was the trainer being like, come on, what are you doing, Bianca? Get back to class. Come on, what are you doing? What are you playing at? It was just brilliant. It just couldn't believe how she was acting. It was, I got a kick out of that, I'm not going to lie. After that, it was Mansoor versus Dominik Dijakovic. Now, this was a short but fairly impactful match. Mansoor had some really nice, hard-hitting strikes trying to chop away at Dominik Dijakovic. He just wouldn't quit, which was one of the things that I really liked about this match. Dijakovic came out of the gate strong, tried to hit Mansoor with that big kick that he won his match with last week, but Mansoor dodged. Mansoor was hitting back with hard chops and strikes, trying to hit him with hurricanranas, pick up that pace, really take it to him. Every time Dijakovic would gain the upper hand again, and he'd just be sort of beating the crap out of Mansoor, but Mansoor would not go down. He went for a diving crossbody at one point, but Dominik Dijakovic caught him and threw him out of the ring, and I thought that was really good. But this made a really good performance out of Mansoor, because you knew he wasn't going to win, but you sort of really wanted him to actually keep going. Yeah, come on, you're getting some in there, man. You're actually making a dent, and I really like that. He's going to be a fairly over guy, I think, in NXT, by the looks of it. He really got the crowd behind him towards the end of this match, because of his just never say die attitude. Just would not go down. Now, lazy calling at the end of this match, because Dijakovic goes for his finisher or whatever that is, and Morrow just calls it. Well, he doesn't even call anything. He just makes a stupid little Morrow joke, and he folds his opponent in half and seals the deal. Okay, so what? What with? He's just won the match. Mansoor's just been fighting and clawing, trying to get a victory over Dijakovic. He's been putting in this strong face performance that's been getting empathy behind him from the crowd. You wanted him to win, and then Dijakovic, that horrible little feast your eyes man, just hits whatever his finisher is and gets the win. He's a nasty little heel, but for me, I don't even know what he did, and I think that's an important thing, really, is knowing what move actually won the match. So that was a 3 out of 6 for me for the actual match. But afterwards, now I'm going to give this a little bit a separate rating because it needs it. But afterwards, we got the Velveteen Dream coming out to just trash talk Dominik Dijakovic. Really, he came out, he said, I know that you had a few words for me last week, so now I've got a few words for you. And he starts singing the national anthem, but changing the words to be about the Dream. Now that is some really, really funny work there, man. And again, Velveteen Dream with that blurred line of, am I a face, am I a heel? Because I know a lot of Americans would be like, that's not acceptable. You can't change the words about a national anthem and make it about him. But all the people in Full Sail were trying to sing along with him, and that was absolutely brilliant. I really, really liked it. Just singing the national anthem and changing all the lyrics to be about how awesome he is and all the things that he's done and the fact that Dijakovic isn't worthy. And then afterwards, he's just like, and with that, Dream over, and just walks away. And he's just the coolest guy ever, man. And with this segment, it's confirmed he is gonna be this generation's Rock. He's gonna be the Rock of this generation, because his singing voice was horrid. It was terrible, but it was still brilliant because the content was amazing. And just with each passing appearance from the Dream, he just gets more and more into this character and fleshes it out more and more, and I really, really liked it. I'm really looking forward to the match between these two that they will eventually have. But like I said, the actual Dijakovic match was sort of it was good for what it was. I can't give it a 4 because I don't like that they didn't tell me what the finish was, and that's why I gave it a 3 out of 6. But this Dream segment was a 6 out of 6 segment. What a guy the Dream is. After that, Morrow was hyping the main event and made some really, really clunky Back to the Future references. Morrow was on a horrible streak tonight with some of the things that he was saying. I really didn't like it. Then we got, for some reason, some sort of video package about John Cena. So Cena to NXT confirmed then, I guess. Seriously though, if Cena was actually to go to NXT, which will probably never happen, I wonder who I'd want him to actually feud with. I'll get back to you on that one. I'm not sure yet because I haven't actually thought about it until just. But if you got any ideas, let me know in the comments. That's an interesting one. Anyway, after that, it was a Undisputed Era promo package with the Undisputed Era music going on in the background, which wasn't as overpowering as it was in the Street Profits one a few weeks ago, so I was happy about that. Cole goes on about how the Undisputed Era are stronger than ever, how they can overcome anything, and how he's going to win his match against Matt Riddle next week, despite the fact that Roddy dropped the ball last week. Roderick Strong didn't like that, got offended. He was like, you serious? And he walked off. And then Cole was like, what? So he can't take a joke then, just like he can't take a loss. And Bobby Fish was telling him off, basically like, I get that it was a joke, but your timing's horrible. He went off after Roderick Strong. So the undisputed tension furthers, and I really like that. Johnny Gargano played a right good one with that with that move of choosing Roderick Strong to be the one that he went against last week. It's really, really paid off. I really like this though, because I think it's going to make a good a star out of Roderick Strong. Adam Cole will probably end up on his own at some point, and that'll be cool. I like Undisputed Era, and if they do find a way to not split them up, I'll still be happy. But if they split up, I'm not gonna be too disappointed, because I think they'll all be pretty good on their own. I think that they've all got potential on their own, especially, I don't know as much about Bobby Fish, but I've heard a lot of good things and seen a lot of good things from Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. Will they break up? In the main event of the evening, it was Kassius Ohno versus the debuting Kushida. Now this was a really, really good match. Surprise, surprise. Kushida's entrance was really cool at the start until it kicked in. After that, there was the really, really overpowering drums, so I didn't actually get to hear like the melody of his entrance music much. It was just mainly like the drums, so I'm hoping that they won't be always quite that quite that powerful. Maybe it was because they had live. I'm not sure if there was like people there actually doing it live or not, but if it was, that might be why. But other than that, there was really no complaints about this match at all. They put over Kushida big time on his way out and in the early moments of the match. Same with Kassius Ohno. It was, in the early moments, completely dedicated from the commentary to putting over both men, listing their accomplishments, telling you how good they both are, really trying just to get you invested in both men, and I think it really worked. Kassius Ohno is so good at the minute. I don't know why. I wasn't really into him a few months ago, even up to the match that he had with Matt Riddle. But after that, since he's been doing this I'm the true British wrestler gimmick and the wrestling genius thing, it's working really, really well for me. So when the match starts picking up, Ohno goes for a leg drop. Kushida dodges, hits him with the drop kick. Then, after a little bit more chain wrestling, etc., Ohno offers the hand, which he had refused at the beginning of the match. Kushida thought about it for a little bit, then he shook the hand, and Ohno kicked him in the face for it. Nice heel move. They were really building this match around the respect angle, and I like that. I always like it when they bring in the respect angle into it, and because there's so many different ways that you can play on it through the match. Kushida was just utilizing some really nice, individual offense, like stuff that I've not necessarily heard people do before. He hit the enziguri on Ohno, and then he went for a springboard chop to the face, which was just like, I was like, yeah, okay, springboard chop to the face. Get that on the video game right now, and I'd be playing it if I could still do that. It's just one of those moves that I would definitely have used. A nice move there. He got a springboard Rana for a near fall at one point. He went for a roundhouse kick, missed. Ohno got him up in the electric chair. He was raining down right hands to try and get out of it, but ended up eating a sit-out facebuster from Ohno for the near fall. After a while, Kushida was on top for a little bit. He made Ohno shake his hand and then elbowed him in the face, which was a nice little reversal of that spot from earlier in the match. Ohno hit him with a big boot at one point, but Kushida used the ropes to stay standing. Again, Morrow was putting over hard that he was showing his Bushido, his fighting spirit, which is just, yeah, it's awesome. It was really, really cool just to see Ohno pull out all the stops and not go easy, and it be a really hard-hitting match, and Kushida just doing a really good job of utilising his offense. He was really working the arm, trying to get in that hoverboard lock, quite a few drop kicks to the arm. Towards the end, at the finish of the match, we got a wind-up punch from Kushida, which Morrow put over as being a tribute to Tanaka, I think. Again, I'm not versed in the Japanese history, but that's pretty cool if it's a tribute to someone. I always like moves that are a tribute to someone. It just gives that feeling of history to wrestling, I guess. It's like that there's a continual history. people are watching people as they're growing up that they then go and emulate and do moves to in tribute of them, etc. And I just really like that. Then he hit another drop kick on the arm and got the hoverboard lock. Now, that was the finish of the match. Ohno tapped out and Kushida got the win. I gave it a 5 out of 6. It was a really, really good match. I'm not particularly thrilled, however, about Kushida's Back to the Future gimmick thing, because we're going to get so references to it from Morrow, and he had some horrible lines tonight about he's going to treat him like Biff Tannen treated Marty McFly or whatever. I don't even know the characters from. I think I've heard I've heard Stephen Larson talk about Back to the Future enough to know. I think that those are the name, but it's just I'm not particularly thrilled about that. So I hope that it goes beyond that, or at least that Morrow doesn't have to reference it every 2 minutes. But other than that, this was a hell of a debut for Kushida. It was a hell of a match for Kassius Ohno, who is, like I said, in a really, really nice position at the minute that he's in, and pulling double duty between both NXT brands, and just getting a chance to put on really good matches against really good opponents. And this was absolutely brilliant. I really, really think that given a takeover match or something like that, this could have been like a 6 out of 6 match, and I'm really excited to see what they do with Kushida now. I mean, God only knows what Kushida could do against Johnny Gargano or an Adam Cole or a Velveteen Dream. There's just so many different things that can go on, and I'm really, really excited for it. This week's NXT was pretty good, really. There wasn't a whole lot that happened, but I found it pretty good. This was a solid main event though, and it was probably the only match that I think that you really need to watch. So yeah, that was Kushida's debut. I gave it a 5 out of 6. So those were my thoughts on this week's NXT. The opening match was a really solid, nifty little match. I'm quite enjoying the rivalry between Birch, Lorcan and Koreo against Forgotten Sons. It's building week by week, bit by bit, and it's actually doing a really good job of making the Forgotten Sons look like a solid tag team. The Dijakovic match against Mansoor was pretty good. The finish I was really, really annoyed about. I just couldn't. I'm still annoyed that they didn't tell me what the finish of that match was, and it seriously took it down a point. That main event was really just awesome. It was a must-see match, and I really, really recommend that you go and watch it. And other than that, the little bits of promos that we got here and there were really entertaining. The Shayna Baszler and the Undisputed Era promo were both pretty entertaining for how short they were. And my worst part of the night really was the Bianca Belair thing, because I just am not into Bianca Belair at all. She seemed cool when she first started coming in with the Mae Young Classic stuff with the hair whip and all that, but I'm not a fan of how she delivers lines or the lines that they give her or anything like that. So it's hard to decide on the grading for this week's. I don't feel that I can go above a strong 4, even though we got that 5 out of 6 match. The rest of it was not. This wasn't the most pivotal NXT episode that you're ever going to see, and in all fairness, you probably could skip it other than the Kushida debut and not miss anything. So I'm going to give it a 4. It's a strong 4, but I don't feel like I can take it up to a 5. Let me know down in the comments what you thought, because I like hearing what other people think. That's the reason I listen to podcasts. I like having my say when I'm listening to other people's podcasts, hence why I'm on Discord, etc. So yeah, let me know what you thought, because I want to know. If you've liked what you've heard here, remember to hit that like button, and if you want to stay up to date with my episodes, hit the subscribe, hit the notify bell, and you'll never miss an episode of Wrestling in the Dark. Right guys, I'm off, and you should have a good one.